If you think being introverted means being shy, you've been lied to your entire life. According to psychologist Jonathan Cheek, who actually studied this, there aren't just introverts and extroverts, there are 4 completely different types of introverts, and 90% of people get this wrong. So here's what's about to happen. I'm going to describe 4 types, and one of them is going to hit you so hard, you'll pause this video and text your best friend saying, "This is me." And real talk, I'm a type 3 anxious introvert. I once said "you too" when a waiter said "enjoy your meal," and I thought about it for 3 weeks. So yeah, I get it. Let's find out which one you are. The social introvert, the quiet socializer.
This one confuses people because the name sounds like an oxymoron, contradictory. Social introvert? But trust me, this makes perfect sense. A social introvert avoids big crowds, not people. Loud parties? Nope. Weddings with 200 strangers? Hard pass. Big group hangouts? Too much noise, too many faces, too much energy evaporating. But give them 1 or 2 close friends in a quiet corner, and suddenly, boom, they light up. They're laughing, they're talking, they're present. They enjoy connection, but only with people who feel safe. If you've ever hung out with friends, had an amazing time, and then out of nowhere, "Okay, I'm done. I need to leave. Right now. Now." Yeah, that's this type. Social introverts don't get drained because they hate people. They get drained because their brain burns energy fast around anyone outside their inner circle. It's like your social battery is an old iPhone at 10%. One notification and it's game over. And here's their biggest insecurity. People think they're rude or distant, but truthfully, they're just protecting their emotional battery. Self-care, not selfishness. One more thing that confuses everyone. When a social introvert is around their close group, they look almost extroverted. They laugh, they talk, they joke. People assume, wait, you're not introverted. But the moment the setting changes, more people arrive, the vibe shifts, they go quiet, like someone pressed mute. This type has selective comfort. Only a few people get the real, unfiltered version. And honestly, that's not weakness. That's a superpower. If you've ever felt, "I like people, but only certain people for limited time," you might be type 1. Okay, quick check. Pause right here if that sounded like you. Screenshot this moment. You're a social introvert. But what if you're not social at all? What if your mind is your best friend? That's type 2, and it gets wild. The thinking introvert. Have you ever drifted so deep into thought that the world just fades? Like someone's talking to you, but you're not really there. Your body's present, but your mind pieced out to another dimension. This is the quiet daydreamer, the deep observer, the person who lives half here, half in a galaxy only they can visit. Thinking introverts don't avoid people because they're scared. They avoid people because their thoughts feel more interesting, more comforting, more honest than real conversations. If you're this type, you space out during conversations even though you're nodding. You imagine random scenarios like, what if dinosaurs came back? You replay memories from 5 years ago in HD quality somehow. You zone out staring at a wall, and honestly, you enjoy it. You suddenly realize someone asked a question 30 seconds ago. And the funny part is, you're not trying to be rude. Your brain just wandered off on its own little adventure without asking permission. But here's what people never talk about. Thinking introverts have one of the richest inner worlds, and that world isn't easy to explain. Their mind is an entire universe, full of ideas, questions, creative thoughts, what-ifs, hypothetical conversations, emotional layers. It's like running 15 browser tabs at once. And this creates their biggest insecurity. If I explain my thoughts, will people think I'm weird? So they keep it inside, and people assume they're distracted, cold, not paying attention. But the truth is, they are paying attention, just differently. They're not ignoring you, they're processing you, deeply, quietly, in layers you can't see. Thinking introverts feel emotions quietly, but deeply. They might not cry in front of people, but they feel things intensely. Their mind constantly analyzes, imagines, creates, replays moments like a director's cut of life. And here's what hits hard. Others struggle to connect because they don't understand this thought process. It's unique, personal. Like explaining a dream, the more you talk, the less sense it makes. But when a thinking introvert finally lets someone into their world, that bond becomes incredibly meaningful. If your mind is your real home, if you can spend hours alone and never feel lonely, if your imagination is a whole universe, you're probably type 2. Quick test. Are you zoning out right now? Did you rewind this video? Yeah. Type 2. That's you. Okay, but what if your brain doesn't just wander? What if it attacks you? That's next, and it hits different. The anxious introvert. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt your chest tighten, even though nothing bad was happening? Or replayed a simple conversation over and over, analyzing every detail like it's an FBI investigation? If yes, you might be type 3, the type who doesn't just prefer alone time. They need it to feel safe, steady, human. And unlike types 1 and 2, this one carries emotional weight most people never see. Invisible, but heavy. They don't avoid social situations because energy drains. They avoid them because their mind becomes louder than the room. Even before a social event, their brain starts commentary. What if I say something stupid? What if I look awkward? What if I don't fit in? What if people remember the wrong thing? Why is everyone looking at me? Did I already say that? And when it's over, the overthinking doesn't stop. They replay things that weren't even a big deal. Like, why did I laugh like that? Do I sound like a broken hyena? Did I talk too much or not enough? Was I invisible? Did I make it weird? I definitely made it weird. To others, this sounds small, but for anxious introverts, these moments hit hard, like replay it 50 times before sleeping hard. They crave peace. Not fake, chill around people peace, but real peace, the kind that only comes from being alone. No masks, no performance, just breathing. They feel uncomfortable even around close friends, not because they don't love them, but because their mind constantly scans, worries about the smallest things. This creates their biggest fear. What if people think I'm awkward or strange? And because of that, they pull back even in safe spaces. People label them shy or antisocial, but reality, they're not avoiding experiences. They're avoiding the mental chaos that comes with experiences. Big difference. And here's what nobody talks about. Anxious introverts have incredibly soft hearts. They care deeply. They feel deeply. They remember tiny moments, what you said 3 months ago, that you forgot instantly. They're more sensitive to emotional cues than they look. This sensitivity makes life harder, but also makes them amazingly thoughtful, empathetic, gentle. Remember type 1 who leaves parties early? Type 3 doesn't even go to the party. They're anxious about it 3 days before it happens. If you have avoided gatherings because you were scared you'd be uncomfortable, if you've replayed conversations for hours, if you need long breaks after social events just to feel normal, you're probably type 3. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with you. Your mind just works in a different rhythm, a deeper one, a more careful one. Side note, type 3s will replay this video to see if I said something weird about them. Yes, you. I see you. All right, last type. And this one moves at a completely different speed than the world. The restrained introvert. Have you ever felt like you need extra time to warm up before you can talk, move, or deal with the world? Like you wake up slow, think slow, react slow, and people assume you're lazy or uninterested, but you're just processing everything carefully. This type moves through life at their own pace, not the world's frantic, caffeinated pace. And honestly, way more common than people think, but most misunderstood. This introvert doesn't jump into conversations, doesn't rush into plans, doesn't say yes quickly, doesn't adjust fast. They need time, real, actual time, to mentally prepare for anything. You'll see this type taking seconds before answering questions, staying quiet until fully awake, avoiding sudden invitations, needing advance notice for plans, feeling stressed when rushed. Restrained introverts aren't slow because they lack confidence. They're slow because they process deeply and move intentionally. Their internal engine starts in quiet mode, not go, go, go mode. Not broken, just calibrated differently. People push them. Come on, hurry up. You're taking too long. Why don't you talk? Can you answer faster? Why do you seem distant? And they think, I'm not distant. I'm just not ready yet. Give me a minute. This creates their insecurity. Feeling misunderstood for their pace, not personality. They're not rejecting people, not avoiding life, simply easing into it. Restrained introverts thrive with structure. They love routine, predictability, knowing what's next. Tell them we're meeting Saturday at 3 p.m. They're comfortable. They can mentally prepare. Tell them we're leaving in 5 minutes. Their whole system stresses. They need mental preparation to feel steady. And here's the beautiful part. When they finally warm up to a person or situation, they become incredibly present. Calm, focused, thoughtful, stable, reliable. They don't fake energy. They give their real self, but only when they feel safe.
That authenticity, rare, valuable. Type 2 speeds out naturally. Type 3 overthinks constantly. But Type 4, they slow down everything, including their own thoughts. If you dislike sudden plans, need time to mentally prepare before going out, get overwhelmed when pushed, feel peaceful in routines, your energy takes time to start. You're probably Type 4. And there's nothing wrong with taking things slow. In a world that moves too fast, your pace isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Now that you've seen all 4 types, you might be feeling something. Relief, clarity, that quiet voice saying, "This is me."
And that feeling matters. Because for the first time, you're not just calling yourself introverted, you're understanding how you're introverted. And that changes everything. Let me recap. Type 1, social introvert. Small groups, meaningful connections. Type 2, thinking introvert. Mind is their favorite place. Type 3, anxious introvert. Drained by their thoughts, finds calm in solitude. Type 4, restrained introvert. Moves slow, thrives when nothing's rushed. These aren't flaws. These aren't weaknesses. These are personality rhythms. Most introverts grew up hearing, talk more, be faster, be outgoing, stop being quiet. What's wrong with you? And you thought something was wrong. But when you understand your type, you realize nothing was ever wrong. Your brain just works differently than the world expects. Now you can understand your needs, set boundaries without guilt, choose the right people for your energy, stop comparing your pace to others, accept yourself with softness. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to understand who you are. So, out of these 4 types, which one felt like home? Comment your type below. Your answer might help someone else understand themselves. Seriously, the comments on these videos are always gold. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button.